So we're glad to have you as well. Thank you. Member of the Kentucky Council on Higher Education, former regent at Western Kentucky, Bill Campbell, right up here. Thank you, Bill. Dr. Gary Cox, who is the Executive Director of the Kentucky Council on Higher Education, who came down to see us open this building and also be at Eastern tonight. So Gary, we appreciate you, and Linda coming today. Thank you. I'm not sure if our mayor and county judge executives arrived or not. I haven't seen them, but Mayor Webb and County Judge Executive Mike Buchanan were trying to get here this afternoon. Our project managers for this building from Presnell Associates of Louisville, Rick Ogburn and Dan Levitt. Would you all wave them so we can see? Over here. Okay. Here. Thank you all for being here. I want to also introduce the building committee. And these are the people that designed and laid out this building. We started really with bare walls, and they were given the task of telling us how this building should be put together to accomplish the purpose for which the building was being renovated, which was to house all student services. Let's hold our applause till we introduce all of them, if you would, please. Howard Bailey, Dean of Student Life. Howard, you'll need to wave up front here, okay. Cheryl Chambliss, Director of Admissions, back in the back. Marilyn Clark, Director of Student Financial Assistance. There she is. Frida Eggleton, Registrar, over here. You notice they all have on red. Richard Greer, Director of the Counseling Services Center, back here. John Osborne, Coordinator of Business Services, right, tall guy in the front. Judy Owen, Director of Career Services Center. We'll see Judy. Paul Morgan, University Architect. Where's Paul? Back in the back. Saw Paul a moment ago. And Dr. Paul Cook, former Executive Vice President for Finance Administration. So if you would give them a round of applause, please. Paul, I read your name last, so it sounded like they were applauding for you. So that did Dr. Downing or Dr. Minton, either one, get here? Not sure if they were going to be able to make it or not. We also have with us today Mr. A.J. Thurman, who is a former Director of Student Financial Aid. So he's seen a whole new world open up for financial. Where is A.J.? Back in the back. There he is, back in the back. We're pleased that you could come today. Let me ask now if Mr. Earl Fisher, who is the newly elected chair of our Board of Regents, would come forward and give greetings on behalf of the full Board of Regents. Earl?
Thank you, Dr. Meredith. If only these walls could talk. I understand this used to be a girls' dormitory. Is that correct? And there's several of these Bowling Green guys that have gone on to great things in life that's probably got some stories floating about. But I understand from the building committee that once they covered the walls back up with new material, those stories are gone forever. Senator Kefoglis and Representative Richards and Representative Smith, thank you all for being here, first of all, and for taking the time from your very, very busy schedules. On behalf of the Board of Regents, we want to thank you and the other members of the General Assembly. We want to thank Governor Brereton Jones, and certainly we want to thank the citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky for making the renovation of this historic building a reality. The worth of this building in its new life has already been proven. And it's been proven for the thousands of students that are present on this campus today, and certainly will be proven in the future for the many thousands to come. I can assure you is and will always be a very good investment. So Senator Nick, Representative Jody, Representative Billy Ray, you've always been valued friends of this university. And thank you for showing your trust and confidence in Western by making all of this possible. And thank all of you for being here today with us. Dr. Meredith.
Thank you, Chairman Fisher. I want to now introduce our legislative delegation from this area. And before I do so, I want to say to you what you already know. These three gentlemen continue to support and have continued to support Western Kentucky University over the years, time after time after time. And it's not just Western Kentucky University. They support higher education, they support good legislation. These are three good, solid members of the General Assembly that we're very proud to call our own here in this district. So I would like for each of them to come forward, if they will, after I finish introducing them one by one, and say a few words to us. But first I want to introduce them to you. First, Senator Nick Kofoglis. Nick, if you'd stand, I want them to give you a greeting. Representative Jody Richards. And Representative Billy Ray Smith. Now, if you all would, let's come forward in that same order, if you would, and share some thoughts with us. Thank you.
President Meredith, Chairman Fisher, thank you so much for your kind remarks. This is a great day for Western, and we certainly feel that any efforts we have made in the General Assembly to support Western are very worthwhile. Your stewardship of the public's money is well justified. Every project that we have supported for Western has made a significant contribution to this community and to the Commonwealth. Now, I'm just thinking, looking over this little historical thing, I'm sure that somewhere up in the heavens, President Henry Hardin Cherry is looking down on this occasion, and I know he has a big smile on his face. He was a can-do man, and I know that restoring this facility is within the spirit that he preached in this university and the spirit that lives here today. And we're very proud to be a part of this occasion. Thank you very much.
President Meredith, Chairman Fisher, other up front guests, and Director Gary Cox, we're delighted to have you down today, and Linda, and former Chairman Joe Bill Campbell. Delighted to see all of you today. Congratulations to all who had anything to do with this reconstruction, and certainly those who supervised and participated in the reconstruction of J.W. Potter Hall. This reconstructed building certainly is attractive and well designed and is a great addition to the Western campus. Some 40 years ago, before it was a women's dorm, this was a men's dorm. And there was a sign somewhere over here over a double door that said, "Through these doors pass the world's greatest athletes." And there was the cafeteria was down in the basement. I would paraphrase that statement to say that on this campus, on this hill, pass some of the world's finest young people. These young people and tens of thousands which will follow are the reasons that we must continue to provide quality facilities and a first-class education for young people of Kentucky and surrounding states. These young people truly carry our hopes and our dreams. Western Kentucky University is of inestimable value to this community, this state, to the country, and foreign countries too, since we have 45, I think, foreign countries represented here. I would like to suggest that we all use this occasion to rededicate ourselves to the betterment of Western Kentucky University and to higher education in Kentucky. By working together, we can make this an even finer institution and can help more young people here and across the state gain a valuable education. Go Big Red, let's beat them tonight.
Thank you, President Meredith, Chairman Fisher, distinguished platform guest, and distinguished guests in our audience, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a real thrill for us to be here this afternoon and play a very insignificant role and a small part in the success of the building and the restoration, remodeling of this magnificent facility. I got here a little early today. It was intentional to take a little tour to get ahead of some of you who haven't had the opportunity to look at all 4 of the floors and facilities that's offered here. This is a dynamic facility. Students are going to prosper from the decisions made to restore this building rather than to tear down and build a new building. It's a magnificent facility, and it's going to reap big dividends. About a year ago, Dr. Tom took a few of us through here, and we had hard hats and hard shoes and climbed up the scaffolds outside to get up to the top of this building and look at it, and I'm telling you, it's tremendous. The builders and planners and architects and the people who have had a part in this, what has been done and what's been accomplished. This is another milestone in this town and on this campus of what proves to be a major facility and a major institution in providing leadership for our young people. We want to thank everyone that had a part in this, Joe Bell, Higher Education, Dr. Cox, and all the people on the staff and administration here, and Dr. Meredith, for your leadership, and the faculty and staff administration, for the Board of Regents, and your wise planning and leadership in leading us to another milestone, another accomplishment on this campus. We're grateful for it and glad to have had a small opportunity and a small part to play in it. Thank you.
Our thanks again to all 3 of you. Let me call forward now the Vice President for Student Affairs to bring greetings on behalf of the Division of Student Affairs, Dr. Jerry Wilder. Dr. Wilder.
I'd like to just make a couple comments on behalf of Western student body and our staff in Student Affairs and other divisions of the university that will be utilizing this facility. I think most, or certainly perhaps all of our students at Western will from time to time throughout their educational experience benefit greatly from this highly functional, accessible, and convenient student services building. I want to express our appreciation, the staff's appreciation, to President Meredith and our former Vice President for Business Affairs, Dr. Paul Cook, for the vision and leadership that they demonstrated on behalf of this project. And certainly we all realize without the tremendous support of our local representatives, Senator Nick, Representative Billy Ray, and Jody, that this project would still be a dream instead of what it is today, a reality. Approximately 3.5 years ago, President Meredith appointed the Potter Hall Building Committee and asked that committee to work very closely with Presnell Associates in the designing of this renovated project. At this time, I want to publicly acknowledge the important roles played by Mr. Kimmel Johnson, Facilities Management Administrator, Mr. Paul Morgan, University Architect, and Howard Bailey. Howard not only served on the committee, but provided leadership and direction in the equipping and furnishing of this building. It is a tremendous facility, and we think it will certainly serve well the needs of Western students for many, many years to come. And believe me, without the dedication and support of these individuals, this would not be possible. We think this facility will allow the 9 units which comprise the building, representing 3 different divisions of the university, to more effectively meet the needs of our students. And that's what we're here for, that's what we're about, and for that we're grateful and thankful.
Now let me bring forth maybe the most important member of our delegation up here in the front, and that's our student body president and member of the Board of Regents, Mr. Rob Evans, Jr.
On behalf of the students, I'd like to welcome our legislators, Dr. Meredith, faculty, staff, and especially my fellow students for coming out and supporting us today. I would also like to thank you for coming out and supporting the opening of what is the premier student information and also service facility building here in Kentucky, and I dare say the nation. So thank you for coming out for that. And I'd also like to state, as we're moving from a state-funded to a state-assisted university, that there's a lot of projects out there fighting for state dollars, university dollars. I'd like to thank our legislators and Dr. Meredith for making the students a priority and Potter Hall a priority and putting the students first. So I appreciate that very much on behalf of the students. And as a student myself, I've already experienced the benefits of Potter Hall, being able to register here, reserve my housing here, and also to find out information about financial aid. So that's been already a benefit to myself, and I'm sure it's been a benefit to thousands of students before me, and will continue all the way into the 21st century. And as I say, as we move into the 21st century, this is the first of many steps we're taking. And I look forward to it, and I'm confident that we're going to move there successfully and quickly and efficiently. So thank you for coming out and supporting us. Thank you very much.
Now, Rob makes a good point. The point of all this was to have as many student services as possible in one building, and it's really going to mess something up, Rob. We've always enjoyed over the years to be able to say to students, no, you can't do that here, but if you go to the bottom of the hill and then look and then come back up the hill, so it's going to take care of that. Let me give you just a few facts on the history of Potter Hall, and we won't make this long, but I think you'll find it interesting. It may be helpful to you. This building's named after J. Witt Potter, a Bowling Green banker, and he served on the board of trustees of the old Southern Normal School. And then he was appointed as one of the founding regents of the Western Kentucky State Normal School in 1906. And in other words, he served, and he remained on that board until 1922, serving for 16 years. When he died in 1923, he was president of American National Bank and Potter Matlock Trust Company. Potter Hall opened in January of 1921 as a residence hall for 250 women. Its unique features included being fireproof, a spacious parlor, which I believe was probably in this area, an open fireplace, and a large cafeteria in the basement. The original cost for the building and equipment within the building was $233,407. Total cost to put the building up. Much of that money was raised by President Cherry through the sale of university property and housing 3 women to a room so he could get some extra money early on. When the hall opened, residents paid $8.50 per month, and it's been a treat to, when we have the golden anniversary groups back, those who graduated 50 years or earlier, to the house every year, to hear them talk about Potter Hall and living here and paying $8 a month and so forth and so on. They had to pay 50 cents per week for meals, though. That was the tough part. Potter Hall was converted into a men's residence hall in 1949, and much of that renovation was done by industrial arts students here on the Western campus. Potter underwent another renovation in 1957 and again housed women. Rooms on the first and second floors were converted to offices in the 1980s, and women were still living on the top floors. The current renovation began in February of 1993 at a cost of $3.5 million, all of which was paid through a state bond sale. The entire interior was gutted to the walls and floors, and were remade into offices for student services. Some of you who are here in the early stages know that after they totally cleared out the interior, and this is a great building, by the way, it's just solid concrete, pillars and floors, just solid concrete, that they made a swimming pool on the top floor, I believe, to test the stress level of the concrete to see if it would hold. And we tried to get them to leave that, but Howard Bailey did, tried to get them to leave that, and they wouldn't leave it. But anyway, it passed the test, and we were off and running. When I would leave here at night, this is one of the things I'm going to miss, with the ladies living on the top 2 floors, and a lot of times at night when I would leave Weatherby, it was always kind of a pleasant scene to go outside because the heating in this building was just terrible. I mean, it was hot all the time. And so even in the winter, their windows would be up and the fans would be running. But there was always someone in the window bringing greetings of some kind or another or some message, or if there was a hot topic on campus, to be lobbied at that particular time before you got to the car. But I miss that greatly. If you haven't toured the building yet and you remember old Potter Hall, you are in for a treat. And I would suspect somewhat of a positive shock. I'm so pleased that we've been able to preserve this important part of Western's history. And I believe, Dr. Cook, you may know the answer to this. This is the second oldest building on campus, oldest being Van Meter, 1911. This is 1921. So we've been able to preserve this. This building now houses several offices, and you've heard some of these names before, but I want to mention those offices, and I'd like for the people who are here to raise their hands so when you go to those areas, you'll be able to recognize those people. Now houses admissions with Dr. Cheryl Chambliss. And Cheryl, where were you? Back there in the back. Business services with John Osborne, over here. Counseling services, Dr. Richard Greer, who is over here. You heard him introduced a while ago. Howard Bailey, Dean of Student Life, who is here. You'll see his area. Housing area with Kit Tolbert. Where's Kit? All the way in the back over there. Minority Student Support Services, which is headed by Phyllis Gatewood, but Gerald Spates will take you through the area today. The Registrar with Frida Eggleton, over here in red. Residence Life with Dave Parrott. And Student Financial Assistance with Marilyn Clark. So if you'll look for those folks today as you move around, you'll be able to find them and know where to go. They will be in their offices to provide tours, answer questions, or whatever. And I think you'll enjoy what you're going to see. We have refreshments here. We hope you'll take advantage of that. If not, we're going to sell it at halftime of the game tonight. So we hope that you'll take advantage of it today. We do have a football game tonight. I hope that you plan to come to that. Let's throw in one more plug. We need the ticket sales. It starts at 7 p.m. and it's going to be a great game. I heard Roy Kidd today at lunch, and he thinks it's going to be a great game as well. So we'll be ready for him. Right now, we need to stretch a ribbon, whoever's in charge of that, and let's do a little cutting. Lead our legislators. Ray, if you'd come up, you and Peggy Loafman, and join in with Mr. Fisher and Wilder and Bailey, and of course Rob, right in the middle of this. I think that covers everybody, and it's probably all the space that we have anyway. So let's. Thank you. Are we going to do which way?
I guess he's going to put his scissors back after it's over.
Well, come on up, everybody. Rob, why don't you put a big hand on that thing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Put your scissors down there. Don't you think you ought to make a big cut? You all agree with that?
Absolutely.
That's fine. Peggy? Come on up, right up, Ray. Howard? You got scissors here? No. Come on. I'm fine. Here. No, well, you got mine. Here. We got everybody. Howard, get up here. I'm fine. Rob, what that thing gets you? It's bad. Is everybody ready? Yeah. On three, we're going to do this. 1, 2, and wait. You got to look up as you cut, or it's not going to do it. 1, 2, 3. All right. Enjoy it. Thank you. Congratulations.